Welcome to Batcast 66. It's the podcast where we watch every single episode of this 1966 Batman TV show. My name's Kendall.
Oh, and I'm Scott. Sorry. I got a message on my phone.
Today we're talking about Batman episode 34. Batman Makes the Scenes.
Scenes plural.
Yeah, I hate that name.
Yeah, it's bad.
When last we left the dynamic duo, they were in a special gas chamber where instead of gas being pushed in, it was being sucked, the oxygen was being sucked
Yeah,
out.
they were sucking out the air in there.
So we get this dramatic scene. There are a bunch of balloons in this room, and they start popping when the oxygen gets
Yeah,
low.
because the air in them's trying to expand to fill the area that's being, the void that's being made. So the balloon strength, tactile strength, can only go so far.
Well, that makes sense.
One of the few times science has checked out recently.
Yeah, well, if you lie, you have different breath than when you don't lie. But anyway, So this happens, and the bad guys suck all the air out of the room and leave Batman and Robin for dead.
Because, they must be dead. There's no air.
But, we're not even left on that cliffhanger. Just as soon as they leave the room, we see Batman open his eyes.
Yeah. And then it just cuts to them in police headquarters, right? And explaining how they survived.
Yeah.
Which, Batman got his hands free with his bat knife. And they had, a bat oxygen container in their utility belts that they used. And Ron was like, I never would have thought of that. And we're both like, that's all I would have thought about.
Yeah, if you're carrying backup oxygen...
Yeah.
And someone is sucking the air out of the room. What else are you thinking about?
Exactly.
So, the Penguin got away. Apparently, he came back to the docks to, dispose of the bodies and found them gone. So, he disappeared. I don't know. It doesn't really track with what was said when we last saw him, but whatever.
Yeah.
I feel like it's Chief O'Hara who's lamenting that he got away cold, but Batman reminds both the police and the viewer that
It's the millionaire's ball he's after.
yeah, or whatever the heck it is.
It's so gross, whatever it is.
Yeah.
We'll get into that when it happens, but, we already kind of talked about it last episode a little bit. But I think it's, worse this episode.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. So we cut to some random outdoor space. Alfred parks the car somewhere, and Bruce Wayne steps out of it.
It's in front of a bank.
Yeah.
I think, it's implied that maybe he's getting the money for that event. Because it's $1 million in cash.
Just withdrawing it.
When I feel like a check would be so much more practical, but then they can't, do what they're going to do.
A car pulls behind him. Don't worry, it's no one nefarious. Just
is it a police car or is it just a normal car?
I think it's just a normal car.
I thought it was a police car.
Oh, maybe it is.
But anyway, it's Commissioner Gordon.
It's Commissioner Gordon. And he asks Bruce where the ball is going to be, or the charity dinner.
Mm-hmm.
And Bruce is like, well, what's the deal? It's, a secret. And Gordon fills Bruce in on the Penguin being up to something.
Yeah.
Kind of weird how little Bruce is filled in, considering his, butler was just kidnapped.
Yeah.
Although I guess they don't think he was. I don't know.
Yeah, the story is he wasn't now.
That's right.
Yeah, so anyway, he's like, all right, well, call Batman, he's called Batman or whatever. Basically says, I forget what exactly it is, but, he needs to call Batman and Bruce Wayne to, figure out the thing. So we keep getting shots between Batman, or, he's Bruce Wayne in all of the shots, but, between the bat phone and a normal phone.
Yeah, it keeps, cutting to him using...
What I really wanted was him just at the same desk with both phones on either side of him.
Yeah, what episode did we get that in?
Did we get that, or was just I wanted it to happen?
No, I feel like we got that in an episode.
Okay, I don't remember, but it would be really funny to me. And then he mixes them up. Yeah.
Yeah, that might not be the worst deal if he did mix them up. He's the same guy pretty much.
Yeah. And so Yeah, I guess they concoct some sort of scheme that they don't let Alfred in on yet because they know Alfred's brainwashed. But basically, yeah, then the next scene, like, they're in the Batcave and they tell Alfred what's going on. They basically say, like, they leaked to the criminal underground that it's going to be at Stately Wayne Manor.
Which seems dangerous.
But the real thing's going to be at, on, like, their Wayne Enterprises, like, flagship yacht.
Yeah, it's called the Gotham Neptune.
Yeah, that's where it's really going to be.
Yeah, and
he mentions that the winning charity is Miss Natural Resources. So obviously Alfred starts twitching and twatching.
So if you don't remember from
Yeah.
last episode, the different charities are represented by ladies in bathing suits, just like
With,
strutting around.
Like a sash with like Miss Urban Development and stuff.
Yeah.
Miss Save Our Whales, Miss Civil Rights. Like stuff that's relatively important. And yeah, they're like ogling them, and I guess they're picking which babe they want to, that's most hot, and then that's the charity that they're gonna put money towards.
Yeah. Seems crazy.
It seems kind of out of character for Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
Like I know they say he's like playboy or whatever, but like every time you see him interacting with anybody, he's pretty like serious and like serious about like being a philanthropist.
What can you say?
Yeah, it's kind of really gross and I don't like it.
So Alfred is washing the windows.
Yeah.
And there's a phone call. He picks up and you just hear the...
It's not a fish.
Yeah, it is Mr. Not a Fish himself.
Yeah, here's the, like, I guess it's a modified duck call because, like, he just squeezes a thing that looks like a penguin's head and it just, like, makes a quack sound.
Yeah.
That's what he was using when he was, like, brainwashing him.
So, this kind of puts Alfred under his control a little bit.
Yeah.
And Alfred spills the beans on, like...
All of those details.
Yeah.
Where it is, who's the winning charity.
There's a decoy location.
Yeah, I think they did that just in case Penguin like heard about it somewhere else, which makes sense. And then if they have the cops there, I doubt any normal criminals would have shown up, because that was like the deals that the police would be there.
Yeah.
So yeah, so Penguin thinks he's got all this insider info, and it makes him happy.
Yeah. So, the penguin, octopus, and shark all don their domino masks to hide their identities.
Which is great.
Even though two of them have their names.
It's just on their chest, yeah.
And one of them is just the penguin.
Yeah. That's one of my favorite like gags is when the villains go in disguise and nobody knows.
So they sneak into a penthouse, which we've definitely seen this set.
They use it all the time. I think we've seen it with the Penguin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there was that lady, right?
Yeah.
The
there was
actress.
the actress and Batman and Robin come like running from the balcony after him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they get like magnetized to the wall or something.
That's
I remember
right.
that.
That's right.
I don't remember which episode that was. It was one of the ones where he was a villain, not one of the ones where he was trying to be a hero.
I think it might have been the Fine Feathered Finks.
I think it might have been that first one too, yeah.
But, so they capture, or they gas Miss Human Resources. And,
Miss Natural Resources and, like, her handler or whatever.
Yeah. What did I say? Human Resources?
Yeah, that's a different kind of thing. Because they mentioned, like, she's like, oh, is Bruce Wayne going to pick me up? Like, no, Batman is. So.
Yeah, which seems
They're like, Bruce Wayne's out of town, even though this, like, thing's about to happen. It's, like, on his yacht.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, so... Yeah, they replace her with Penelope or whatever her name was.
Vanilla.
Finella. Because, like, her whole thing is, I wanted to win a bathing suit contest. And this is sort of what that is.
Yeah, it's a little silly.
But yeah, she becomes Miss Natural Resources, and, like, Batman picks her up with a corsage and everything.
Yeah. So Batman escorts her to this party dinner thing.
Yeah.
Batman and Robin are there as stand-ins for Bruce Wayne, who had to leave town, as we said.
Unexpectedly. But it's really weird just seeing Batman and Robin, like, at a, like, dinner table, eating normal food with all these guys in suits.
Yeah.
It's kind of strange to see.
And, like, the guy who was dressed like the Gilligan Island skipper last episode, he's, like, he's itching to throw some money at a lady in a bathing suit.
And then, they ask if they can bring out the piece de resistance, and he doesn't know what that is.
Yeah, Robin has to explain the translation.
Yeah, it's just basically, the thing of the evening. It's like, oh, the babe in the cake. Gimme.
Bring her out. Hubba, hubba.
And then the two bakers bring her out, and I told you, I was like, I think that might be the same baker from the last episode.
I really hope it is. It looks a lot like him.
Yeah, the guy who got, like, tricked by the woman pretending to be homeless and looks like a Flintstones character.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looked a lot like
pie
him.
in the face.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
I'm going to pretend it's him, because it's
Yeah.
the same baking company.
Headcanon.
Yeah.
Mother Gotham's Bakery.
Yeah, that's cool. But yeah, they bring her out. She, like, pops out the top of the cake, and they all throw their charity money at her.
Yeah. And
Like it's a strip show. Like this is a bachelor party.
She's so happy, and meanwhile Penguin is, like, outside on the deck of the boat, like...
Miming for her to, like, start shooting them.
Yeah. Which, he holds up his umbrella like a machine gun and, like, mimes machine gun shots.
Yeah.
But really, it's just to gas them.
Yeah, she pulls an umbrella out of the cake, gasses them all. They all pass out, including Batman and Robin. Penguin and his other goons come in, they put it all in an umbrella, and then leave.
Yeah. I feel like they did not take even $1 million.
I thought it was going to be, like, fake money. Like, this, like everyone knew that this was, like, a ruse.
Yeah.
Which is why they didn't bat an eye that, like, all of a sudden Batman and Robin are there.
Yeah, they were all very okay with it. So, Penguin says that they're going back to the dock hideout, and
one of the guys,
Yeah, they're like, oh, well, they know about that. And they had searched it before, and it was empty, so they're like, oh, it's the last place they'll look.
But it's really just because they have that set.
Yeah.
For a fight. It's got a giant pink safe, so...
Gotta use it.
Yeah.
So they get back to their HQ, and Octopus...
And Shark.
And Swordfish is there. Yeah. They're all, like, gathered around this money with the Penguin.
They're just chomping at the bit.
Penguin gives them all a little bit, so they, like, get out of his face.
Yeah, one wants to open a school for pirates.
Yeah, that's Octopus.
Yeah, he wants to go to the Caribbean or something.
Octopus is, like, moving his hands like they're, like...
Like they're, like, octopus tentacles, I guess. Yeah, it's really weird.
Yeah, he is a creep. He reminds me of Billy Corgan from the Smashing Pumpkins.
Oh, I kind of see that, yeah.
Yeah, he's just the biggest weirdo.
Billy Corgan or Octopus?
Both of them.
Okay. At least Billy Corgan doesn't wear a bald cap for no reason.
Yeah.
There's no reason that guy doesn't have to have hair.
I guess he needs an octopus like him.
The other guy didn't look like a shark. He looked like a gremlin.
That's true. Fenella is not celebrating with the other goons, though. She starts crying.
Yeah.
She regrets everything.
Yeah. They stole money for charity. They cheated. She didn't really win a thing.
Yeah. She calls herself a cheat. She calls the Penguin a cheat. And, yeah, she is filled with regret. But a voice from the darkness comes to comfort her.
Yeah.
Batman and Robin.
Yeah. Can you believe it?
Can you believe it? Weren't they supposed to be gassed?
Oh, no, they weren't. They had anti-penguin gas antidote in their system.
Yeah, which is... is that different from the other anti-gas pills?
This one's, like, got fish oils in it.
Maybe. You also get your omega-3s.
Yeah. But yeah, they come busting out of the safe, which I don't know how or why they were in there.
Who knows?
We were expecting them to come out of a cake when he said there was going to be a lady coming out of a cake.
Yeah, I was like, okay, there's something to bust out of.
Yeah. It's like that Riddler episode where there's giant painting of Batman and Robin. I was like, oh, I hope they come bursting through that. And they did, and I was so happy. I think that's the best fight scene we've had so far.
That's a pretty good fight scene.
Yeah. That's one of the things we'll talk about next episode.
Yeah.
Some of our favorite stuff from this season. But they get into a fight. It's all right. Robin makes sure that Fenella is like safe and to the side at the beginning of it.
Yeah, because Penguin like immediately gasses her and throws her at them.
Yeah.
It doesn't really give them any sort of advantage, though.
Yeah, they get caught in the various things. Like the one guy's in one of the cages. One guy gets thrown in the safe. Penguin gets caught in a net.
Who knows what happens to that other dude?
I don't remember. He might have just got punched too much. He might have got a concussion.
Yeah, lots of concussions in this show.
But the day is saved, as it were.
The day is saved. Well, I assume they get all the money back. Why wouldn't they?
Yeah.
We cut back to Wayne Manor.
Yeah, sometime later, and they're having the party for real there.
Yeah. But all of the ladies are there.
Yeah, all of the ladies are there now.
Alfred comes walking in with 2 on his arm.
It's Miss Save the Whales and Miss Urban Development.
I think it's Urban Resources.
Is it Urban Resources? I thought it was Urban
Development is a bad thing.
Okay.
But that's another podcast.
It's Urban something. It's hard to say.
Yeah. Urban Resources is good. Urban Development?
Well, Urban Resources sound like you're extracting stuff from, like, urban spaces.
Or maybe you're getting things for the urban
Maybe.
spaces.
I don't know.
Urban Development is usually a...
is it like a
safer word for gentrification?
Yeah, I was going to say, is it gentrification?
Yeah. Usually involves...
That's like a political speak for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Usually involves displacing people of color and low-income families.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I'm obviously not for that. I'm glad she didn't win, if that is what her thing is. Gotta remember, it is the 60s.
It is the swinging 60s, and that's when they were doing a lot of urban development.
I say 66, I don't think the Civil Rights Act was signed yet. I'm not as much of a history buff. I'm not good with, like, dates and names. I know 69 is when we went to the moon. So Kennedy's still around, because I think Johnson is the one who signed the Civil Rights Act, so I think it must have been the early 70s.
64.
Is it 64? I thought Lyndon Johnson did signed the civil rights stuff.
Because, yeah, there would be... all that stuff is, like, filmed in black and white. It's definitely the 60s.
Yeah, well, I know the 60s is when, like, Martin Luther King, like, all of that stuff with, like, the real big civil rights stuff that you're taught in school isn't happening. I mean, obviously there was stuff way before that, and there's been stuff since.
Yes.
But
Civil
that's
Rights
like...
Act of 1964.
1964, alright. There might have been something later then.
I mean, there's always something, huh?
But, like, we're still fighting for the same bullshit today.
Ain't it the truth?
Yeah. It's crazy.
But yeah, Alfred...
point is, Alfred comes out with some babes on his arm.
Yeah, he's like... Who knows what he's thinking about.
And then his Aunt Harriet, like, scold him for that.
Yeah, as she has in the past.
Maybe
I think in a
Alfred's
past Penguin episode.
Maybe Alfred really is a ladies' man. Like, he is the ladies' man. And Bruce Wayne's the cover for it. Yeah. All these women coming and going at all hours of the night.
Makes sense. So... Because they couldn't have this conversation elsewhere, I guess.
Yeah, like Dick, Alfred, and Bruce kind of like catch each other.
Yeah, and they're like Alfred feels terrible about like almost ruining this charity.
Well, he feels like he betrayed Bruce Wayne.
Yeah. And they, Dick's like, it's not your fault.
Yeah.
And Bruce is like, you actually helped us catch the Penguin.
Yeah, we planted that information so we would know where he's going.
Yeah, we knew you were brainwashed.
Yeah.
Which is pretty obvious to everyone watching.
Yeah. But that's kind of how it ends, right?
Yeah, that's it.
And that's it.
Oh wait, no.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
There's one more special guest.
Commissioner Gordon comes in with Fenella.
Yeah, who I guess is briefly out of.
Yeah,
prison.
they're like special requests because she like, Batman had to talk with her when he was escorting her there, and like I guess she had a change of heart. and tried to help. I guess probably tried like help them catch the Penguin. Maybe that's how they knew they were going to gas them the way that they did, because she had that umbrella. Because maybe she had anti-penguin gas stuff, because that's why she didn't get gassed.
Well, she was the one doing the gas.
Yeah, but it still fills in the space.
Not in this universe.
Yeah, I know. If you don't get hit by the color part.
Yeah. But, yeah, she's there, escorted by
Commissioner Gordon, yeah.
And that's how it ends.
And that's how it ends. And that's how this first season ends. Before we get into that, what did you think of this episode?
This episode...
It was... For me, it was okay. It's the weakest of the Penguin ones.
Definitely the weakest of the Penguin ones. I do think this second part turned it around.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
Like, the first one was like, ugh.
It was very Alfred brainwashed heavy.
Yeah, but this second part, really, I like it a lot better.
Yeah. Yeah, it was okay. Like I said, I've seen better. The Penguin Goes Straight's my favorite so far. Just... I loved everything about that one, but like this one's okay. It's just like a middle of the road one so far. Like, now that we're done this for our season 1 like recap episode, maybe we'll definitely talk about our favorites and least favorites. But like I might, for my own edification, rank them.
Like all the stories,
just so I can get my thoughts in order for it.
Cool.
I don't know if we're gonna go down like the whole list, but
yeah, we'll see what we do.
Yeah, I know there's a bunch of topics we want to talk about.
We have one more responsibility for this episode. We got to rank the Penguin's pop. Blah, blah, blah.
We got to rank the Penguin's plan, yeah.
Yeah.
What are you thinking?
I mean, brainwashing Alfred is pretty powerful.
Yeah. I mean, Penguin kind of got what he wanted. It just so happens that Bruce Wayne is Batman, so he's a lot harder to fool.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's just a pretty simple plot when you boil it down. I don't think he really challenged Batman all that much.
You're right, because Batman was on to the brainwashing immediately.
Yeah. I'm feeling a 2.
All right.
It was a good plan. It's just because the target he chose was Batman adjacent. Like, if this was done by one of those other millionaires, I think he would have gotten away with it.
Likely.
Yeah. I mean, granted, it would have been the trouble because he robbed Batman, and then Batman would have been all over him. But,
he would have enacted violence upon him, or whatever the hell he said.
Yeah. He would have rained blows down upon his skull. But yeah, season 1, I guess a teaser, like, I think this was a pretty good season of television.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, like, I'm satisfied with what I've seen, and I'm excited for what's coming next.
Yes.
Because, like, especially the last few episodes really felt like the Batman 66 that, like, that you think about when you think about the show.
Yeah, like, we got to see certain tropes, like, get figured out.
And, like, get subverted, too.
Yeah.
Which I'm glad, because they were getting really annoying. I'm curious to see how that stuff changes and evolves, or maybe it doesn't, in the next seasons.
Yeah, well...
I know, the only thing I know is season 3 gets away from, like, the 2-episode gimmick.
Yes.
But that we gotta get through season 2 before that happens. And I think season 3 is also when Batgirl's introduced.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because I know chronologically the next thing to come out is the movie, which doesn't have her in it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll get back to y'all on our thoughts for the season next episode.
So yeah, until then, join us same Batcast time.
Same Batcast channel.